All right, so obviously I put the short. If you guys see the short, you'll probably see this in a lot better position. But literally, I stopped recording on that short and I went and recorded this. So I'm just going to be working. I'm doing the, these are the wrong sides of the back. This is the sleeve, and then this is the actual back panel that I have. So this is the wrong side. I'm going into the back loop of the sleeve side and the back loop of the back panel, and I'm just doing the back loop slip stitch join. That is one of my favorite ones. They do create a ridge on the wrong side, but I'll turn it over and you'll be able to see it. And also, this is intentional, so don't worry about this. This gap is intentional. But yeah, the back panel was really something. I got to do a little bit more mosaic crochet than what I'm used to, and then I also did like single crochet pixel art, which I think turned out pretty well. Line these up as best I could. Let me see here. Nope. And of course I started recording and my dog wants me to let her in. I may end up taking my phone with, because otherwise you'll be left with about 2 minutes of silence. I think it's okay. Trying to keep this in the screen. This is also one of the, in my opinion, one of the faster ways to join. I've done the mattress stitch, and boy, that just too long for me. Things don't always line up the way I want. I feel like this way is a lot more forgiving. And my back panel, the stitching isn't as even, which I'm okay with. I just have to make sure that I end on the same stitch where I have the stitch markers, and then I'm fine. So occasionally that means in one of my slip stitch joins, I'll be slipping like 1 stitch on this side to 2 stitches on this side. But the good part is that since I don't have a pattern, yeah, so I'm going to have to do, here I'm going to be doing 2 of those. So probably not this one, but the next one. So that's 1 and 1. This is going to be 1 and 2. So there's the first one, going back into that first and going to that one. Then I'm going to go a few more, doing the 1 and 1. And then this one will be my 1 and 2. So 1, 2. But that's the nice part, I feel, of not having a pattern. As long as you're confident in your ability to fix mistakes when you're crocheting, then you could do anything. Yeah, these all match up, so these are all 1 and 1. But I just wanted to make sure that there's certain spots on the back panel and on the sleeve that I wanted to line up to each other. And that's all I really cared about. And any other issues will typically not be seen by the naked eye. Like it helps because this is kind of it is a very organic pattern. So because it's not pristine and perfect and precise, any non-symmetry is forgiven really easily. All right, so here I'm going to be doing another 2 and 1 across this join. So I'm going to go here and here. Oh, my poor pupper. And then in that same stitch on the side closest to me, And then on the other side away from me, I think I want to have it right there. No, that'll be too tight. Right there. Yeah. There we go. All right. And then this one, I'm going to have to do another 2-in-1. I'll probably do it with the final stitch in the stitch marker is where I'll do it. No, I have to do it here. It just makes sense. So I can tell by the tension if it's a good place to put it or a bad place to put it. And I don't want it being too tight or bunching up anywhere. All right, this one's another set of 1s. So they all each have their own match up into the stitch marker, which makes it really easy. There we go. I'm almost done with this side. Oh, wee woos. All right, another set. These are also 1-in-1s. I think I did pretty good with this. I know this looks hideous. It looks so bad. But it was my first time attempting. I've got Pixel. I have the name of the school on the other side. Because these are the school colors. These are the colors the principal wanted, red and black, because it's their school colors. And she wanted them in the same ratio of my cardigan's blue to black. So I'm following as close as I can to mine. And then while I was deciding on what I was going to do with the back, because each of these teachers' backs will be different. And they'll be different from mine as well. I don't plan on replicating my back on theirs unless they specifically asked for it, which they didn't. They told me, for those of them that, well, all of them gave me a lot of creative liberty. They were like, these are my favorite colors. And then when I asked them about the length and the weight and the size of the back and stuff like that, that's about as far as the customizations went. They gave me a lot of creative liberty, which I think has been the funnest part about this. Just getting to exercise, if you will, my crochet chops of like, well, no one else has done this before, so I'm doing it alone. So we got this joined. I am going to go let my dog in real quick because she's being all sad. So I'm going to let this go for about 2 minutes. I do apologize. You're going to have 2 minutes of like nothing going on right now, but yeah. Oof. Oh no, what's that? Oh, that's my shoe and yarn. So you know you're at a crocheter's place. Wherever you go, there's yarn. There's a yarn end somewhere. Okay. So just put that right there and I'll be right back. 2 minutes tops. Okay, I'm back. Yeesh. I am a little worried though at this back because she didn't want it too wide, and I'm worried that it's too wide. Let's see, how did this line up? That lined up well. So my corners lined up well. The back lined up well. It all lined up well. I'm just gonna have, it's gonna have a ton of ends to weave in, you know. But yeah. So now I'm gonna start working on the rim around it. Because if I'm gonna weave things in at this point, I'm just gonna weave them in all at the end. So I'm going to the back here. This is the right side of the work. And And you can see I've got this space here. And I have the same space over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my, maybe red, actually. I think I might do red. Maybe that cross stitch red. But work my red around. And then I'll come back and I'll terminate here. And then I'll work black all the way around. And by that time, it should be the right height. So I'm probably going to do singles in red this way. And then I'm going to do half doubles in black this way. And then they'll be the same height. And then I'll just have to do like one ring around and it should be good. So we'll see. Let's go get that red. This part's always exciting because I'm nearing the end. You know, everything else is pretty much put together. I just have to do rounds till the point where I'm satisfied with it. So I'm just going to do a little, pull this up. And then how do I want to do this? Yeah, I'll just crochet into that. Yeah, okay. And then do I want to do this way or under? Let me see what under looks like real quick. Yeah, I like the under look. And so what I mean by that, so these 3 stitches were done where I inserted my hook. I hooked under instead of over. If I do the yarn over, which is a little bit faster, I'm going to do 3 so you can see the difference. You can see it's very subtle, but this allows for a little bit more black to be visible than this. So I'm just going to do under. I don't like it because it takes so long, in my opinion. Honey, back up. Back up. I can't pet you right now. You ignored me all of today, and now that I'm crocheting, you're wanting attention. You had plenty of time earlier today, but you chose to sleep. That's probably because I'm talking. You can see it's just a little bit slower for me. I keep wanting to try and do the over because, you know, that's how it's naturally set up. Let's get over. If anyone who's been watching this, has happened to see any of my other videos about the weighted beaded blanket or the cat blanket, I have been making progress on them. This past week, I've finished 3 more beaded rows on my son's weighted beaded blanket. And I finished, although it's really sad, but I've only finished 6 pixels and weaving in an additional 10 ends on pixels. For the cat blanket. But that's the thing, is progress is progress, and it is a big blanket, a big undertaking. I have till, you know, November. But I'll have it done before then. I'm looking at the stats right now, and I have 42.86% of all the squares made. And then of that, I have 32% that have the ends woven in. So like, not 32 of the 42, but 32 of the overall number. Okay, so here we're at the corner. I'm just going to do 1, 2, back in. And then I'm going to see and look. It looks pretty much 90 degrees to me, so I'm happy with it. So now I am on the bottom of the right side of the cardigan. This is where it gets a little tricky. I got to determine where I want to put these stitches before I actually start because of the way I build up the bottom. And then I look at it to see, does it make sense? Is it too built up somewhere? And I think it might actually be a little too built up, but if I make it too tight here, it's going to want to curl in. I don't want it to curl in. I want it to stay kind of flat like this. So I'm okay with it looking built up. I don't know exactly how to explain What I mean by built up, maybe that it's not at a right angle, but for this I'm okay with. And I think I accidentally did the regular crochets, but that's okay. We'll fix it here. If I can. Yeah, that's looking good. Just, there we go. The kids typically spend Tuesday night over at my parents' house to go to their night church. And then my parents drop them off in the morning for school. My mom's not feeling well, so we kept the kids, brought the kids back home today, which they were happy about because they were finally allowed to be in the pool. My mother-in-law bought, well, with our help, we went in, Nate and I went in, and we got them a pool for Christmas, an above ground, really nice above ground pool. And finally it was all set up. The water was tested earlier today by pool professionals, and the water was perfect. So my son, when he got home from school, that's the first thing he asked. He asked if he could get in the pool. My husband said yes after making sure it was okay with his mom. And yeah, that water was ice cold. I got a picture from my mother-in-law saying, hey, are you coming over? And it was 5:20. I was still working on something for work. And I told him, yeah. But I headed over and I went to go get in the water. And man, I put my foot on the step of the ladder outside of the pool, mind you. And it was like ice because one of the kids had walked down it when they were wet. And I was like, nope. And my daughter could not talk through her chattering teeth. It's 82 degrees out right now, but like the water's not 82 degrees. We've had some really cold snaps lately. And of course, you know, it takes a bit to get water hot. And I told the kids, like, really, you shouldn't be in the water until we have at least a week's worth of greater than 80 degree weather. And they didn't like that, which I get it. You know, I wouldn't like it if I was a kid who wanted to go swimming. And I remember being able to tolerate cold water, cold water a lot better as a kid. All right. So here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to join. I'm going to do a sort of like a, not so much a decrease. I think I might go here and here to have one, then here, no, here, and that's where it would have helped for me to weave in ends. Here for 2, going across there. Let me see if I can find the black yarn. I'll probably use the red to weave in over it. And then I'm going to go here and here just to try and keep it even, but also close up that front between those two. So I think that looks pretty good. All right. Try and keep this hidden because I want it as part of my big reveal. All right, now here I'm going to do, let's see. I am going to do like a decrease right there. Then I think for this, I might do the regular single crochets across. I am going to work, I think, 3 decreases in through here. Actually, you know what? Let me think. I'm going to leave this decrease, but then I'm going to work in the back loop. The back 3 loops. Yeah. See how that looks. Because this is a 2-tone one, so I'm trying to make some good contrast, some good texture elements, if you will. All right, I'm going to work in a decrease right here, but this is just going to be to that top back loop. All right, there's one. A little bit of wiggle there to get it there. Okay. Do 2 more and then do another decrease. Okay, decrease here in just the back loops, the normal top back loop. Okay. I'm going to work another decrease probably right here. So. All right, I think one more. And then a decrease here. Okay. Then I'm just going to work in that back loop till I get to where I've joined this. Okay. Now I'm going to take a look at this. I can see where I did that join right in front of the valley. So I think that's where I'm at right here. Yep. All right. Was I over? No. All right, so now I need to go do this one again. I'd say again. Never did it the first time. There's that one. Bring it over. Okay. And then over one more time to make the 3 across. So I only have one that's actually a decrease. All the rest are 3 decreased looking single crochets worked over 3 stitches, which kind of aligns to what I have here. Kind of, sort of, not really, whatever. It'll work, right? It'll work. No matter what, it'll work. Okay, so now we tilt this. Finally getting to work our way down. This is a relatively short one, which is nice. Now I'm going to go back into doing the yarn under instead of yarn over. Oh, my dog's licking. She's licking her paw on top of a little bit of scrap yarn. Interesting dog. Coming up on her meds. This back panel, specifically this one, Took me hours yesterday. I designed it in Excel. I've never done that type of crochet before. Hell, I didn't even look up instructions on how to do it. I was just like, well, you know what? I think this will work based off of what I know. And it actually worked really well. Like this, because of all the floats, that's what they call it in knitting. Because of all the floats, it doesn't look that good. I think it's like ferrule style. But on the front side, it actually has the pattern. Very nice. So. But I am glad that this one's a little bit shorter than mine and the one I'm making for two of the other teachers. One of the other teachers, I have the back completed. I just want to finish the sleeves before I attach the back to the sleeves. So I need to ask her. I have this thing that I do with numbers. If there's some important numbers to the person, I try to do a type of mosaic crochet when I do the borders for like the sleeves. Or for when I do the ribbing here. And she told me she was thinking of some. So I need to ask her tomorrow if she can send me those numbers so I can keep them in mind when I work on hers. But yeah, I just need to really finish her sleeves, and then it's just attach the stuff and start doing the ribbing and weaving in, and I'm done. The sleeves really are a huge part of this. Okay, here we go. Get that in. And then here's one. And then now I'm at that corner, and I remember I did 1, 1, 2, 1. That's about right. Okay. And then I can just go back to under. It's a hard habit to break. I've made a couple amigurumis using this stitch, and it works pretty well. It actually works it pretty fast when I'm doing something on a smaller scale, but something as big as this, it's a little hard for me to switch the motion of my wrist and stuff like that. I don't like how that turned out. But the thing is all these little errors and stuff. No one else is going to see it. You're going to see it. And I'm going to see it. But especially people that don't crochet, they're never going to see it. All right, I'm almost to that end. This up a little bit. I want to do it in the back loop. Whoa, look at that. Almost did a half double. It's too soon. It's too soon for the half double. There we go. Nope, that was not at all. I mean, that works. It does work. It does attach the two together, but that's not the look I was going for. So let me try this again. We have the corner and then that one. We have the corner and then that one. So yeah, okay. There we go. That's more what I was looking for. Okay. And then this gap right here, I'm going to be able to fill in by weaving. Let's do that now. Heaven knows I have enough I want to weave in here. Just going to undo this knot. My little slip stitch knots. Pull tight. All right. There we go. Exactly how I wanted it. Back in the top. Now I'm going to make it this way. So I like to go at least 3 different ways. So there's one way. Pull tight, then pull loose a little. Go back in. This is way number 2. So at this point, it's not coming undone. But because I do worry about this, I bring it through one last time. So this, even if it comes out just a little, it's just going to be an end. It's not going to work its way out. If I was even more paranoid, this is acrylic, this is a lighter. Plastic, heat, melt. So if I did want to make sure, I might add just a little bit of heat to the frayed end and then just tap it out real quick. To try and keep those fibers together, but I'm not going to do it on this one. All right. I'm just going to secure this a little bit better since it is not secured with a slip knot. Just like this. There we go. See? And I'm going to weave it in better later, but now it's not going to come undone while I'm working. So like I said, I'm going to go back over to this side. I think I'll do the same with this one before I continue on with those half double black ones that I said I was going to do. I actually want to get this secured. There we go. So when I started this short, I was saying it was like 6:30. It is now 7:07. Just gonna pop this in there and then work my way over here. Yep. This way. This way. And then back through there. There we go. Good with that one. I think I'm okay for now on this one. All right. I don't think I'm gonna have enough black yarn that I have in front of me to do a complete round. So I'm gonna use it because heck, I already have plenty of ends I'm gonna have to weave in anyway. What's a few more, right? What's a few more? And it'll be after this round, I'll probably start my ribbing round. Maybe. I am probably going to have to do some buildup around the neck first before I start my ribbing round. So I guess this will be like my last proper, I don't know. There we go. About the same height. About the height I need it to be. I'm going to do a couple, oops. Got to bring that all the way through. Do a couple of these stitches, and then I'm going to secure this side to that side. When I do my ribbing rounds, it will cover this up, so I will be fine. Drop down right there. Oh, that's a cool, I like that effect a lot. Anyway, all right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not proper mosaic anything. This is just me coming up with stuff that looks cool while I'm doing it. Okay, see there, I skipped 2 stitches. Did I? I did the same thing here, so I screwed that up. Let me fix that real quick. I think if I'm going to do that there, yeah, if I'm going to do that there, I need to do this here. So I'm actually going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Check. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop down here. Skip only the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I'm going to drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop down again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure my tension's loose. I feel like it's a little too tight there. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop down. Pull up gently. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Three, 4, 5. Loosen it up. All right, skip that one, go here. And then in my corners, because this is higher now, I'm gonna do 2 half doubles, chain 2, 2 half doubles. There we go. I like how that looks. Yeah. All right. So I only have 1 here. I'm going to skip that hidden stitch. I found that in work, you either always skip the hidden stitch or you never skip the hidden stitch. And I've just taken to always skipping the hidden stitch unless I'm following a pattern that tells me I need to not skip the hidden stitch for whatever the count reason is. So, all right. Gonna shift all this. That is, I really, really like the way that this looks. I don't know if my camera is doing the effect justice, but I don't know. It seems really nice. Okay, back to this. There is a lot of that when you're not working with a pattern. I mean, I guess, you know, even when you are working with a pattern, right? There's a lot of just like taking a step back, seeing if you like the way it's going. Because you know what? A lot of times, actually, when I'm following a pattern, like the finished product that is on the person's pattern product stuff, and then their tester photos, they all look amazing. And then, you know, I start working on it and I'm like, oh, I actually think that this turned out hideous. I'm doing a terrible job. I'm sure the pattern was written fine. I'm not having a good time following it. So, you know, it's just less stressful. But yeah, taking a step back and seeing if it's something that you want to continue with, or just frogging it. For those of you that don't know what frogging means in terms of crochet, because it turns out that there's actually a lot of new crocheters out there who don't know, but it's when you ribbit. So if I were to, in fact, I'll do it because I can crochet back. When you do this, you can't hear it very well, but there's a slight little sound, which sometimes, if you're working with particularly stiff yarn, it can sound like rip, or like a frog, ribbit. So that's where ribbit comes from, or frogging. That's what the term frogging comes from. It just means you got to go back. It didn't turn out the way you wanted. All right, but this is turning out so good. All right, on here now. I am a little concerned about this. I may actually iron it a little. I don't know. I got to figure out something to do with it because I don't know. It's not as flexible as everything else because it's done. I did it with a 5mm hook in a little panel graph style thing. So, this is perfect. I'm ending up pretty much right where I wanted to be. And then instead of skipping this stitch in the back, I'm going to, actually I might actually skip that stitch in the back, but I'm going to do a half double here, do a half double decrease here. See how that looks. I'm going to do another half double decrease here. And then I'm just going to do half doubles until I get to about the middle of this. Do another half double decrease. Trying to keep you guys from seeing the back before I'm ready to reveal it. But I think right about here is going to be the middle actually. So I'm going to do one half double. I say right about the middle. I could count, you know, that's a novel concept, right? An accountant counting. All right, so we've got 3, 6, not. I guess my eyes approximated it pretty well because that is the middle. All right. I gotta go look and see how I did the decreases here. I did them here and there. So I have a little bit further to go. Okay. So now I'm gonna do my decreases. There's 1. And there is 2. All right. Now we're on to the other side, the other sleeve side. now I'm just gonna see how this would look. Yeah, no, that's about right. Okay, cool. Skip that stitch, and then I'm just gonna start working into this. Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized you couldn't see. Yeah, there's one of my hairs. Ah, the downsides of shedding. All right. Coming up on 48 minutes recording. Got a lot done for 48 minutes, I will say. Honey, you don't have to be up here. I know it's hot. You can be downstairs. I don't know why you want to be up here. Go on. Go on. Go get some more water. Go get some more water, honey. Oh, okay. Or not. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this round. Oh, I'm playing Yarn Chicken. Let me show you in just a second what I'm working with. Do not judge my yarn mess. This is my personal desk. My work desk is over there. And like at lunchtime, when I'm not eating lunch and I'm crocheting, I just roll over to this side. But so here we go. That is the black yarn I have left to work with. I may lose this round of Yarn Chicken. That's okay. I have plenty more yarn. Plenty more yarn. Get this plugged back in. There we go. All right. But here's hoping. Oh, no. Now I'm going to look and see what I did on this corner. One stitch, then go. Okay, well, we'll see if we can do that. I don't think we can. Yeah, we can't. But that's okay. Did I do it in the corner? Did it right outside of the corner? Okay, well, that's fine. No one's gonna know. How would they know? Nobody's gonna know. Except you and me. You and me now know that is 4 instead of 5. But it's okay. Honey bunny, the AC is on downstairs. I don't know why you're up here with me. Skip that first one. Maybe that was my problem. I skipped it. No. Okay, that's fine. So go here. Then that's my DC. All right. There's that corner. Now, it's going to be close because one of these black yarns was what I used on the back. So, man, I don't know. No. Oh, it's getting close. This is what's left of one of them. That's the one I used last night. So we'll see. We'll see. 3. All right, I have a knot. That's not a good sign because I knotted the end so they wouldn't come loose. I caked them. Oh boy. Oh, I think we'll win, yarn chicken. I think we're gonna win. This is how much I have left to go. I think I can do it. I think I have enough. Yeah, I have enough. Yay, I did it. Did it, guys. There we go. I'll weave those into the top, and then I can start my ribbing round after I deal with the neck. I want to kind of add some height to the neck. Do I just pull this up, or do I want to secure? I'll secure that way. You guys see this part? More of my hair. You know, I have a husky right there, and my hair is what always ends up shedding. Though she's not always over at the house, so most of the time she's at my brother's house hanging out with his husky. But she hasn't been feeling well, so she's been at our house recuperating, getting meds, being doted on while I work from home. My brother doesn't work from home, so he doesn't have the ability to take care of her when she's not feeling good. which is fine. But ever since her litter mate and her litter mate and brother, because sometimes we're like, oh, it's my brother, like my dog's brother. They're like, oh, okay, but they're not actually blood related. No, they're blood related from the same litter. He passed away in mid-October of 2025 because cancer sucks. But he had a really great, after we knew he was going to go, he had a really good time. We let him have a nice fun series of days. So he went out with a bang. But she's getting up there in years and the same age, you know. All right, that's very nicely woven in there. That ain't going nowhere. And I hear my kids, so I'm going to be cutting it short. Do the reveal later on the short. Bye.